What's up guys, it's Legend X Ronin, and today I have another topic video for you guys. In today's video, I will be talking about a possible moveset and customization options that Nightwolf could have in Mortal Kombat 11. As we all know, Nightwolf is one of the characters who has been announced to be in the Combat Pack 1 for Mortal Kombat 11, along with characters such as Sindel and Spawn, and if the order of how the characters were revealed is to be the order that they will be released, then we can expect to see Nightwolf be revealed next. That being said, I thought I would go ahead and discuss my thoughts on some things that we can possibly see from him, such as a possible moveset, fatal blow, fatalities, gear, skins, intros, and outros. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please be sure to drop it a like to help support my channel. Let's see if we can get this video at least to 100 likes, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, please be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more Mortal Kombat 11 content and helping me on my road to 10,000 subscribers. Okay, so first let's start with his moveset. With Nightwolf being a shaman, he has a wide range of abilities in his arsenal. However, he's most known for his green spiritual energy that allows him to manifest a tomahawk, bow and arrow, and a reflective armor around himself. That being said, I'm sure we can expect to see those moves return to his moveset again, with possible new customizable variants to them. They've already had a chance to work on a character who relied on a bow, so I'm curious to see if they could find new ways for Nightwolf to use his bow. Maybe he can have different spiritual arrows he can use through the ability customization options. As for his tomahawk, I'm expecting it to be part of his old and new combo strings that they'll have for him, though it would be cool to see some new moves for it as well. Aside from his signature moves possibly getting new variants to them, I think that it would be cool of course to see some new moves from him. I personally would like to see them give him more moves based on his abilities as a shaman. With Shang Tsung, I noticed that they gave us more abilities that displayed his skills as a sorcerer, so maybe they'll do the same for Nightwolf and his shaman abilities. Whatever they do, I just hope to see some cool new things added to him. I know it would be very cool if he had an ability where he turns into a wolf, like how Kodokan turns into a panther. It definitely would make a great brutality if they were to have it as a move, and would be throwback to his animality in UMK3. For his throw, I really couldn't think of much, but I was thinking that for his away throw that maybe they could have it where he's picking up his opponent and then letting lightning strike them, and then he throws them in the opposite direction. I mean, I know that's not like the best thing ever, but that's one that I could really come up with. As far as his fatal blow, I was thinking maybe he can hit you a few times with his tomahawk and then bash it into your skull, crushing it on the final hit, and then step back and let lightning strike it while it's in your head, which will shock you as well, and then he uses his shoulder charge, which will crush your ribs. I know this one might be a bit much, but I think it would be pretty cool to see. Lastly, for his fatalities, one idea that I have that I really want to see is Nightwolf turning into a werewolf and ripping his opponent apart. In Nightwolf's Mortal Kombat 9 ending, we get to see him turn into a werewolf, and ever since then I really wanted to see him do this as a fatality. I think that this would not only be awesome, but seriously brutal if done right. I think they should have it where he transforms into a werewolf and then jumps onto his opponent and rips them apart. Kind of like how you do in Skyrim when you finish off your enemy as a werewolf as well. For a second fatality, I really couldn't think of much, but I wouldn't mind seeing them do something with his spirit bow and arrow. With the introduction of Kung Jin, we got to see some cool arrow based fatalities, so maybe we can see one from Nightwolf since he also has a bow. Maybe he could do something like shoot his opponents in both of their legs, bringing them to their knees, and then shoot them in the head with an arrow, which he then uses as a rod for his lightning that will come down and shock your opponent, causing them to explode. Or if not that, he could just use his tomahawk for a rod, or just cut their head off with the tomahawk after bringing them to their knees. I think this would be awesome for a fatality if it were to happen, but I think all in all, I really just want to see them do something really creative with Nightwolf for a fatality, you know, aside from him actually turning into a werewolf and all. Moving on, I would now like to talk about customization, so first let's talk about the possible 3 gear pieces that Nightwolf could have. Now, throughout his many designs, Nightwolf has had several items that seem worth customizing. That being said, here's what I think will be his 3 gear pieces. The first is a headband, because Nightwolf has always had some kind of headband in every design that he's had. Typically they always have a feather on them, but all in all this is something that's signature for Nightwolf. I think that the headband will be one of his gear pieces and could have different ones, maybe even different feathers or ones without feathers as well. Also, we do have that teaser gift that we got from Ed Boon on Twitter, which shows Nightwolf wearing a headband, so it really doesn't surprise me that this will be one of his gear pieces. For a second gear piece, I think that it will be another accessory. Now there's multiple options for a second accessory for him. He's had an amulet before and always has a belt or some kind of arm vambrace. I think that the more likely option would be customizing his belt, but I think giving him some kind of really cool shaman accessory would be really cool to see and customize. Lastly, there's his tomahawk. His tomahawk has always been something that he's used, and as I said before, each character always has a gear piece that's tied into their moveset, so his tomahawk would make sense. Not to mention, after doing the script for this video, Ed Boon tweeted out a teaser pic showing Nightwolf's tomahawk, so it's a pretty sure thing that his tomahawk will be one of his gear pieces. Next, I would now like to talk about possible skins that he could have. Now, as I always state, the skins that characters get are always random, so as much as I would like to see some of his past skins, the chances are pretty slim. That being said, I would love to see his MK9 and MK3 skins. If any skins were to get in, I think that these two will have the highest chance. I also think that since we are getting so many movie references, then maybe we could get his movie skin from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah, I know the movie sucked, but with all the movie references that we've gotten so far, though they're from the first movie, you would think that they would take the opportunity to do this still. Also, there is a chance that Xbox players could get a Thunder skin for Nightwolf from Killer Instinct based on this tweet that Ed Boon had tweeted out a while back, so there is that possibility for this exclusive skin. Aside from all of that though, I think that I should state there's a good chance that his primary look will be his Revenant look, considering that the last time we saw him, he was a Revenant and they decided to make all the Revenant characters have their Revenant look as their primary looks. In the event though that his primary look is not his Revenant look, I think it's still possible that we'll have some Revenant skins for him as well. It would seem pretty crazy for them to not have Revenant skins for him and Sindel, considering that all the characters who did become Revenants have Revenant skins, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see about that. The last thing I want to discuss is a few possible intros and outros that Nightwolf could have. First, there's my idea for an intro. I think that it would be cool if he had an intro where he comes in as a wolf like Kotal Khan comes in as a panther. Maybe as he comes in there's a howl in the background and then he transforms back into a human just like how he did in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. As for outros, I think a cool outro would be if he held up his axe and then lightning strikes it. Now I know that seems very simple, but it's very much something that I think that Nightwolf would do. As for a second outro, I think he could turn into a wolf and then howl as the camera begins to zoom in and slow down like how it always does to some of these outros. When it comes to intros and outros for characters, a lot of times there's intros that have outros similar to them, so I think that if he has an intro where he's a wolf, he could have an outro where he's a wolf as well. But these are just some of my ideas for a possible moveset and customization options for Nightwolf when he's added into Mortal Kombat 11. I can't wait to see what new moves and things that they'll add to him, and of course what his intro dialogues will be like. It's always cool to see characters who weren't playable in Mortal Kombat X come back, and we can see what they'll say to some of the other characters. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say to Sindel once he's added in after what happened in Mortal Kombat 9, and knew who he kicked into a Soulnado. I'm pretty curious to what he's going to say to him. But what do you guys think about this possible moveset and customization options for Nightwolf? Is there anything in particular that you guys want to see from him? Be sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, just for fun, drop me your best Nightwolf intro dialogues in the comments below. The best one will get pinned. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to drop it a like to help support my channel. Let's see if we can get this video to that 100 likes goal. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at X Ronin to keep up with all things that I do and to join in on the meeting discussions that I have. I also have a Discord chat that you guys can join. I'll leave a link for that in the descriptions below. If you're new to my channel, be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more Mortal Kombat 11 content. This is X Ronin, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Melina took your legs, didn't she?
She tried what I saved.